As to what Subhuti has said, then the bodhisattva has already attained enlightenment. Here a bodhisattva, after he has fulfilled the 6 perfections, 2. The 18 special Buddha-dharmas, will, through the adamantine concentration, by a wisdom which is conjoined with one single thought moment, fully know the supreme enlightenment. It is then that he is recognized as a tathagata, as one who sees all and has full sovereignty over all dharmas. The purity of the Buddha field. Subhuti. How does a bodhisattva purify the Buddha field? The Lord. Here the bodhisattva, from the first thought of enlightenment onward, cleanses away all wickedness of body, speech, and mind, on the part of himself and of others. Through their being perfectly pure, he purifies the Buddha field. Subhuti. What is a bodhisattva's wickedness of body, speech, and mind? The Lord. Unwholesome bodily action, i.e. taking life, taking what is not given, and sexual misconduct, that is his wickedness of body. Unwholesome verbal action, i.e. false speech, slander, harsh speech, and frivolous talk, that is his wickedness of speech. Unwholesome mental action, i.e. covetousness, ill will, and wrong views, that is his wickedness of mind. Moreover, any thought of meanness is for a bodhisattva wickedness of mind, and so is any thought of immorality, anger, indolence, distraction, unconcentratedness, or stupidity. Moreover, any morality that is not perfectly pure, that is wickedness for a bodhisattva. And so it is to be deprived of the 4 applications of mindfulness, 2. The wishless concentration. The realization of the fruit of a stream winner when accompanied by the longing for it, 2. The realization of the enlightenment of a pratyekabuddha when accompanied by the longing for it. The notion of the 5 skandhas, the 12 sense fields and the 18 elements. The notions of women and men, of the triple world, of wholesome and unwholesome, 2. The notion of the conditioned and of the unconditioned, that also is wickedness of body, speech, and mind. In consequence, the bodhisattva, who courses in perfect wisdom, abandons all those kinds of wickedness, and then he himself gives gifts and also encourages others to giving. He gives food to the hungry, 2. Anything that may be useful, and also others he encourages in giving these things. When he has made the resulting wholesome root common to all beings, he dedicates it to the purification of the Buddha field. And so with morality, 2. Wisdom. He himself perfects a great trichiliocosm which is made of the 7 jewels, and then gives it as a gift to the triple jewel. And he thinks to himself, may I through that wholesome root have a Buddha field made of the 7 treasures. Moreover, the bodhisattva plays heavenly musical instruments, in honor of the Buddhas or their shrines. And he thinks to himself that as a result of that wholesome root may I constantly and always have musical instruments which make heavenly and charming sounds. Moreover, the bodhisattva fills the great trichiliocosm with heavenly perfumes and gives them to the Buddhas or their shrines. And he thinks to himself, through this wholesome root may my Buddha field emit heavenly scents. Moreover, the bodhisattva gives the most excellent foods to the tathagatas or their disciples. And he thinks to himself, as a result of this wholesome root may there accrue the most excellent foods for the community of my disciples in my Buddha field when I have known the supreme enlightenment. Moreover, the bodhisattva gives heavenly ointments to the tathagatas or to their shrines. And he thinks to himself, as a result of this wholesome root may there accrue in my Buddha field, when I have known the supreme enlightenment, heavenly touchables to all beings. Moreover, the bodhisattva thinks to himself, may I by my good intentions alone bestow upon the Buddhas and Lords, their disciples and all beings agreeable sense pleasures of the 5 kinds. And when he has had this idea he thinks to himself, as a result of this wholesome root, when I have known the supreme enlightenment in that Buddha field, the 5-fold agreeable sense pleasures will be manifested to the whole community of the disciples and to all beings just as a result of their wishing for them. Moreover, the bodhisattva gives the fivefold sense pleasures as a gift to the Buddhas and their disciples, together with all beings. Moreover, the bodhisattva who courses in the perfection of wisdom thinks as follows. Now that I have myself entered on the four trances, the four unlimited, may I also introduce other beings to them. When I have won the supreme enlightenment, may all beings not be deprived of the four trances, 2. The 37 dharmas which act as wings to enlightenment. It is thus that the bodhisattva purifies the Buddha field. He does not know the supreme enlightenment until all those intentions are fulfilled. He himself becomes endowed with all wholesome roots, and he also causes all beings to be endowed with wholesome roots. His own body becomes handsome, and the bodies of those beings whom he has matured become handsome, beautiful to behold, and graceful, with the help of this merit. It is thus that a bodhisattva purifies the Buddha field in such a way that there is no longer even the concept of the three states of woe, of the false views, of greed, hate, and delusion, of women and men. The two vehicles, impermanence, ill, and not self, a recipient, I-making, and mine-making, latent biases and obsessions, the perverted views or the differentiation between the various fruits. But there is a proclamation of the concentrations on emptiness, the signless, and the wishless. And when the wind stirs the branches of the trees, those beings hear an admonition to renounce both their inward and outward properties. From all inward and outward dharmas there issues the message that this is emptiness, signless, and wishless, that it is non-production and non-stopping. Just as the own being of these dharmas is, so the words express it, saying that all dharmas are empty of all dharmas. Whether tathagatas are produced or not, all dharmas are empty of all dharmas. And what is empty, therein there is no sign, and it is also wishless. This is the kind of demonstration of dharma which will emerge. Night and day this kinds of demonstration of dharma will emerge in that Buddha field when he has fully known the supreme enlightenment, to those who stand, sit, lie down, or walk along. And all the Buddhas and Lords in the world's systems in the 10 directions speak in praise of this Tathagata. And those who hear his name, they will also be definitely destined for the supreme enlightenment. And none of the beings to whom the Tathagata, who has won the supreme enlightenment, teaches the Dharma has any uncertainty as to whether this is the Dharma and that is not the Dharma. And why? In the dharmic nature of all dharmas there is no non-dharma, and all of it is dharma. But those beings who are possessed by unwholesome roots, who have not planted wholesome roots under the Buddhas or their disciples, or who have been taken hold of by bad spiritual teachers, they cling to the false view of a self, 2. They cling to all false views. They take their stand on the extremes, on annihilation or eternity. Seized by a wrong conception, they form the notion of fully enlightened Buddhas with regard to those who are not fully enlightened Buddhas. They speak of what is not the Dharma as if it were the Dharma, and they speak of Dharma as if it were not the Dharma. They reject the Dharma, and in consequence when their body has broken up they will after their death fall into a state of woe and a bad destiny, and be reborn in the hells. And the Buddhas and Lords, after they have known the supreme enlightenment, will liberate those beings who are included in samsara from both their evil places of rebirth and from their false views. Thereafter they will establish them in the group of those whose destiny is not fixed either way. And after that they will again be reborn in the states of woe. It is thus that the bodhisattva purifies the Buddha field. With the result that beings will find no home in anything, worldly or supramundane dharmas. Dharmas with or without outflows, conditioned or unconditioned dharmas, until they all become definitely destined for the supreme enlightenment. End chapter 77.